Freddie Rubino here with News and Coffee. Brought to you by Bean and Brew Coffeeandtea.com. The link is right up there. Just click on it. Remember the promo code GTFOH. Get 10% off. You got to send this to your kids. It's healthier. It's the healthiest coffee. Now, I understand you don't like your kids. This is very understandable. Kids are leeches. Kids are the downfall of your adult life. You were doing good. You were doing good. You were looking good. You were young. You were athletic. You were hot. You were sexy. And then you got married and you were still hot and sexy. And then you were dancing and drinking. And then the kids came. Like a sinkhole. But you could still buy it for your kids because it saves you money. It's about 50 to 60 cents a cup. And instead of going and paying for them, or you yourself buying Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts at $5 a cup, you can lease a car with the money you save. Not for them, for you, so you can get the hell away from them. So get the coffee. The links are right up there. Do yourself a favor. We're going to have an update today about the assassin. I don't even know his name because I gloss over it. I don't want to say his name ever because he's a piece of shit. Here's the update on him. Two things about him. Number one, the man was fled every which way but loose. Great movie. Sometimes I do my hair like Clint Eastwood. I want to look like 1970s Clint Eastwood. Not now, but I'm getting there. But anyway, let's get back to this. Here's the problem. People went and they went to the Ukraine to interview people, to do all this bullshit, and he was there. People came back and complained to Border Patrol and the authorities in Washington that this guy should be watched. He's dangerous. He's talking violent rhetoric. Nothing. Right now, we don't know how he got the gun. I don't know. He lives in Hawaii. How did he get the gun? Nobody knows. That guy, however he got it, someone should be in jail because there's all kinds of things. Also, he was reported to the State Department to be put on a watch list because he is a psychopath and he could do harm to political violence. Nothing was done. Nothing was done. He was allowed to do what he was doing. That's the way it is. Okay, let me tell you something. I gotta tell you this. When there's no evidence anymore, like in January 6th, they said that the Secret Service was in on it, and then they went to the Secret Service, they said, we want to see all the texts going back and forth, and all of a sudden they were all erased. Oh, it was an accident. We erased every single piece of data from the day tying us to the event. Who do you think was in on it? Here's one thing. They're never going to invest. They already don't have any answers for the kid who shot Trump in the head. It's like it's over because they're covering it up. Do you understand that? And when you cover it up, it means you're in on it. So all of these places, I'm sorry to say, they're in on it. I'll give you proof. During January 6th, there was a guy who put pipe bombs, more than one, around the Capitol building. They have him on video. They have him on different cameras walking to the subway and using a Metro card. They know who it is. You give Giuliani, Rudy Giuliani, put him in charge of the FBI. I guarantee you he would have found him in 10 minutes. Why hasn't he been found? Why doesn't anybody talk about him anymore? Why don't they just follow the evidence? Because it would lead it back to them. The big plan on January 6th was don't have any people there, have people inside inciting it. The cops, we seen the cops telling people to come in. The people wouldn't come in. They were like, get in. And if Mike Pence, who was a traitor to the Republican Party, by the way, and a coward, if he would have just said, look, there's 3 states where it appears that there is massive corruption, I will not verify the votes, and I will not say that Donald Trump lost the election. If he says that, which he had every right to do, and they knew it, they planted pipe bombs around and then if he didn't do it, they set him off, and then they say, we're under attack, and you know what the law is with that? When you're under attack, Nancy Pelosi takes over and just pushes it through. We don't need any more votes because we're under attack. That was the plan. I guarantee you, if they did this to anybody else, to the Democratic Party, to the Clintons, they would have found that guy in 10 minutes. Or they would have at least found out who bought the card. They would have easily found. So this is why there's nothing with it. So this guy was on every watch list. Now it even gets better, because now the guy, the first report comes out, he was parked there for 12 hours on the side of the golf course in an SUV. A guy on the watch list who's been flagged more times than your sister at the clinic is parked 12 hours knowing that Trump is playing golf 12 hours before Trump gets to the 5th hole, which means that he got the information 14 hours before, because he's not in Star Trek. He just doesn't beam there. What he does is someone tells him, hey, I just got it confirmed. Trump's playing golf tomorrow and at that golf course, and that's why he was there. It would be so easy. If Giuliani was in charge of the FBI, this is why he's not, by the way, because he would come up with too many answers and expose every fraudster and every enemy of state. Who knew that Trump was going to golf 14 to 15 hours before Trump got there, before Trump was there, before Trump was shot? Who knew? There's only a handful of people on the planet that knew 14 hours before he got there, before he got pointed at and attempted assassin, that knew he'd be there. Trump, a couple of people around him. Listen, all you got to do is take those handful of people who are the only people on the planet Earth who knew 14 hours before to make sure that guy was in his car and on his way, and even told him exactly where to be, that would have this information. These people should be detained, and they should be they should crawl up their ass like Buttigieg at a bar on Friday night. They should crawl up their ass and find out every communication, everything that was said. Now, I guarantee you, the 10 people that knew Trump were going to be there, you could probably take 5 or 6 and just throw them right out the window, because it would be obvious that they didn't do it. I'm telling you, it's only up to about 4 or 5 people who would have had this information to tip this guy off. It's not hard. And I don't care who it is. I don't care who it is. Bring them in and don't release them until we have the answers. Just like this kid who had 3 offshore accounts that were encrypted. And then they tell you, oh, we can't, it's encrypted. You know who he's calling. Encrypted means the message is encrypted. They know exactly where the message went. So now we have a bigger problem. It's not just some nut. It's a nut that was given. Listen, let me tell you something. I live in Florida. Not that easy to get a gun. Especially, they check you. They run your fingerprint. They do everything. How did this guy get the gun? Maybe they should put his parents in jail like they did with the school shooter. How about they round up his parents? Maybe they're alive, 85 years old. Round them up. You knew he was a problem. Anyway, how did he get the gun? Now there's reports that the gun was there already. I don't know. I don't know. No one knows. But all I'm telling you is that the people who are the biggest suspects that are involved in this are running the investigation. They took the kid, they burned his body so no one could find a goddamn thing. They don't know where the codes went. Now they got this guy, waterboard him, twist his arms until they come off and find out who set this up. And the president and the vice president. You would think they would come on and say, hey, this has to stop. As of right now, I am appointing the National Guard to protect Donald Trump. Anywhere he goes, 2 blocks around him will be closed. Everybody, every lead will be exposed. We will find everything. We will have the elite of the elite around him. This is America. Nope. Nothing. Not one of them came out and said, they said, oh, we denounce it. What are you going to do? It's like the economy. What are you going to do? They don't know. They don't care. We want to know what will happen now that we have to protect Donald Trump. And I can tell you right now, doesn't matter that it's Donald Trump. If it was Jimmy Carter, if it was Barack Obama, I'd say the same thing. You cannot have this kind of government where they just whack people for disagreeing or threatening to expose corruption. That's not America. That's China, and that's the Soviet Union. It never happened when Trump was in. Now this crime family of the Bidens is orchestrating things in this country that we've never ever seen before. And it is totally un-American. We must find out. There's 5 people who knew he would be there 14 hours before he got shot at. We have the right to know. And here's another thing. The press conference, this fucking guy gets up and goes, I'm going to tell you this right now. Listen to what we say and don't ask questions unless it pertains to who the fuck are you to tell the free press what questions to ask you about the attempted assassination of our former and beloved president? Who the fuck are you? You're a civil servant. Just stand up there if it takes 2 fucking hours. What's your hurry? Oh, I'm in a hurry. I gotta go. What? Where you going? The fucking donut store closing? You stand there for 2 hours and answer every fucking question that the media has. What balls on this guy? He sets the parameters of what we could fucking ask him about the attempted assassination. You know, my first question is, where the fuck were you? This is a disgrace. And like I said, it's very, very clear that the person was tipped off 14 hours before. He was camped out there for 12 hours. He was on a watch list. In order to be there in 12 hours, I live in Florida. Every place is 2 hours away. So I bet you that this guy was at Mar-a-Lago. I bet you he was there and had to drive the 2 hours across or an hour and a half to get to the other golf course. I bet you this guy knew 15 or 16 hours before Trump got there. And if he knew 14, 15, 16 hours before anybody else, then someone fucking up high. Somebody tipped him off, and it has to be only a handful of people. It's only about 5 or 6 people on this planet that had the information 16 hours before. They should all be locked in a room today. They should have our greatest investigators. This is a matter of national security. I don't give a fuck if you have to pump them up with some fucking serum like you see in Dick Tracy and shit like that and 007. Pump them up with whatever you gotta fucking do. Give them ether, give them a fucking matzada, and find out who. Even if you don't find out who they think it is. And go after them with the entire fucking weight of the United States of America. I don't care who the president is or was. No one comes after our president. And this administration is letting it happen as we speak. Put me in charge. I have the fucking name of the guy who tipped them off in 20 minutes. Be a lot of blood. I get a fucking cordless drill in his dick. And you'll see people singing like fucking Pavarotti. They start singing. Eddie Mendez, Mr. Rubino, you're on point. I love the American flag, Mr. Mendez. I love that. Never be ashamed to fly that flag. Deborah Ann, sounds good, but never happened. Hey, all we can do is talk about it, and hopefully somebody chimes in. Harley Davidson, it's true they're not trying. They would get more people watching Trump. Of course. Rubino 2024, fuck them. Hey, Larry, that would be my slogan. Rubino 2024, fuck them. I guarantee you, if Zelensky was here, that golf course would have been combed every 10 fucking minutes. And anybody who was against the Ukraine war would have been picked up. I guarantee you Zelensky would have gotten better fucking protection than Trump. Laura Benora Rodriguez, you are awesome. You, Lori, are very perceptive. Because I am awesome. I'm not that awesome. But if I'm not going to say it, at least you said it. Nice, Fred Rubino takes over the investigation. Jeff Armstrong, you goddamn right. You can't handle the truth. I'll say it one more time. If this guy knew 14 to 16 hours before Trump got shot, then it is evident that there is only 5 to 10 people on the planet that knew Trump was going to be there. And so those people should be locked in a room right now, giving fucking laughing gas, giving shot, whatever the fuck they gotta do. A needle in the dick, whatever it is. Fucking poke their eye, let him eat pineapple on pizza. That'll get them to talk. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in, and please buy the coffee to support this. Let me tell you how good the coffee is. The guy just recently spent like $1 million to make the plant that he's making the coffee bigger, because everyone who buys it reorders, and now all of these diners and all of the restaurants want it. You will never see this from any other coffee company. He has a list of flavors, as long as the line to see your sister. And it's so beautiful, you can get to pick flavor after flavor. The link is right up there. Buy the coffee, promo code GTFOH. I'll see you tomorrow. God bless America. God bless.